Welcome to another episode of Equity Street, where we provide the roadmap to property wealth. We're answering the questions of real estate investors across the country, and of course, I am joined by one of Australia's leading property experts, Matthew Bauer, to answer your questions. So let's get straight on into it. Now, this question comes from Michelle, and she says, how much does owner-occupier appeal actually matter when purchasing an investment property?
Yeah, good question, Michelle. Look, I think first and foremost, when you're purchasing the investment property, you make that decision with your numbers and not your heart. That's the first, rule of thumb that you want to take into consideration. However, there are other aspects that do align with your question in terms of the appeal of the actual investment property itself. And gone are the days, I think, where we're just taking little to no consideration to what that future tenant looks like when it comes to the appeal of the property. So what we want to look at here is your entry strategy, your cash flow holding strategy, and the future exit strategy as well. So certainly the internal fixtures and fittings aspect around the physical components of the property do come into play and have a certain level of appeal orientated towards, that owner-occupier type aspect, but certainly not over the top as if you were a long-term homeowner or owner-occupier. Equally so from a location point of view as well. You certainly want all of the amenities and lifestyle and infrastructure and conveniences as if you were an owner-occupier attached to the actual investment property itself. So from an internal fixtures and fittings point of view, we certainly want to look at what is going to be the most and highest appeal to a long-term tenant that is going to look after the property as if it were their own, stay for as long as possible in terms of a long-term tenancy, and also be willing to pay that little bit extra above market rate for, internal features or appeal that makes life that much easier for them and more desirable to actually live in your property from a rental point of view as opposed to someone else's. So what we want to avoid is, going over the top and having bespoke fixtures and fittings selections, or be worried about the colour schemes being bespoke or anything of that nature, but certainly something that is appealing, that's modern, that has those conveniences attached to it, higher ceiling heights.
That appeals to the majority of people as well, that caters for a wide range of tenant profiles.
Yeah, so a neutral aspect, but is certainly modern and has those extra fixtures and fittings that, are taken for granted these days. So you're looking at it certainly from a potential owner-occupier perspective, just with, your financial numbers hat on at the same time to ensure that whatever you are putting into the property is going to get you a return, a consistent return, or an increased return as well.
If you'd like to know more about Matt and National Investment Advisory, you can visit www.nationalinvestmentadvisory.com.au. And remember, with a smart property investment advisory team by your side, life has no limits. We'll see you again soon on Equity Street. Bye for now.